Hello everyone and welcome to Pubs TV. I'm Simon, this is Andy.
I'm Andy.
He's Andy. And today we're going to review a product we've picked up at Hoppy Days called Abstrax. So if we have a look on the Hoppy Days website, we've got a few of these abstract options available. Most of them come in this little 5ml pack, which is that tiny one that we use. There's all sorts of things approximating different hops: Strata, Simcoe, Nectaron, Mosaic. You can also get it in the professional size at 118 mils. The idea is that one of these 5ml little containers will go into 20 litres of beer and provide enough flavour for it. We've got Galaxy, Citra, and then we get into the marijuana, the cannabis terpenes, Super Lemon Haze, Pineapple Express. This is the product that we're using in our video, but you can see there's Blackberry Kush, Gelato, it sounds quite fun, King Louis Kush, Passion Fruit, Mango and Grapefruit. So they've also got fruit flavours available. So what we're going to do is we're going to pour a control beer, which is a double IPA. So I'm going to grab a couple of pints of that, we'll taste that and talk about that, and then we're going to see what it tastes like with the Abstrax added and whether it makes any difference or not. So if we briefly run through this recipe, Double Trouble IPA, 8.7%, and that worked out pretty bang on. We hit our numbers. A 23 litre batch, boil time 60 minutes. Let's run down to the original gravity, 1074 I ended up hitting, and we did hit that 10.005 in the end. I think we might have been 10.004, so it was a little bit more alcohol than we were expecting. Normal mash with a mash out of 75 degrees Celsius. Our grain bill was 8 kilos of Barrett Burston, 400 grams of wheat, and 200 grams of medium crystal, just to give it a little bit of colour and malt sweetness. I also added a kilo of dextrose, and like I may have mentioned in the video, it really dried everything out a lot. The hops, we had a 30 gram Citra hop addition at 60 minutes, 40 grams of Citra at 30 minutes, and 40 grams of Citra at 10 minutes. Then the dry hopping schedule, I put in 150 grams of these, so 50 grams of Galaxies, 50 grams of Citra, and 50 grams of Nelson Sauvin at high Krausen, and then the other 150 went in at the end of fermentation. The yeast I used this time was Pomona, because I really wanted to try that out to see what sort of flavours and aromas we could get out of that yeast. Alright, so we've got some of the control beers here. Double IPA, one for you Andy, one for me.
So this is just the regular beer?
Yep, regular beer, nothing added. So we've done a split batch, and to half of it we've added this essence.
Okay.
Let's have a look, see how it tastes.
Cheers. Cheers. That's good.
Tell me.
It's very fruity.
Fruity,
I'm
yeah.
getting a lot of fruit there. I mean, obviously the alcohol is coming through. Presumably it's on the stronger side.
9%, yeah.
There's a bit of alcohol warmth there as well. But yeah, it's got a really nice clean malt character. It doesn't get in the way. There's no strong fermentation character coming through. You know, it's pretty clean.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's some good bitterness there. And yeah, nice fruity, floral sort of hop character.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you're probably pretty happy with that. It's tasting good.
I am. It's not too bad. I'm happy with how it turned out. Last double IPA I made was quite cloying, quite sweet, so I'm happy that I've managed to dry that out a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still got plenty of body.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's not just. It's not all just sugars, is it? There's a nice malt character there as well. But I mean, the hops obviously are shining through. Like they're the star player.
Yeah, absolutely. All right,
very good.
So let me pour from the other keg that's got the Abstrax essence in it.
We'll see if it makes any difference.
See if it makes any difference.
Let's go for it.
You bet. So here we go. The head's faded quite quickly on them.
Yeah, okay. So in every other way, you've treated these the same.
Everything's the same. The only thing has been I've added 2.5 mils of that Abstrax
Which doesn't
liquid.
sound like a lot.
No, it's not. I've got this little tiny pipette to just measure it out bit by bit, and that's been added to the 9-litre keg.
Yeah, right. Okay.
And that's the recommended
dosage.
Yeah, the Hoppy Days said they say that 5 mil. So that's that 5 mil container. That little container does a full 20 litres.
So the idea might be that you could achieve hop character without any hops in a beer if you added that to 25 litres. Or
Yeah, I guess so.
maybe, yeah.
I mean, these are the terpenes. Yeah, I guess that's potential.
Presumably, if you made a fairly plain beer and added that, you'd.
I don't think you'd get bitterness out of it.
No, obviously
So
not.
but you could add those other extracts, those already
Or bittering hops you could boil with hops, but then not add any late hops or dry hop and use that. Yeah, maybe. It'll be interesting to see.
Could do.
Might not do anything. We haven't tried it yet.
Let's have a look. Looking at the beers, we didn't talk much about this, but they look pretty similar.
Yeah, they look very similar.
They look similar. So,
I mean, like you say, it's not crystal clear, but it's not. There's nothing floating in it. There's a slight haze there.
Yeah.
Obviously, a fair bit of dry hopping, I would have thought.
Yeah.
So that could be causing that.
And maybe maybe it would have cleared up with more
patience.
patience.
I was going to say how
if I had
old it
waited
is.
more.
It's
that
always
wasn't
a
an
problem.
option. Yeah.
But yeah, given that they look pretty similar in colour, you could say that extract hasn't changed the appearance at all.
No. No. If
If you brought them out in a different order, you wouldn't be able to tell which was which.
I haven't showed you this, but see, that's inside it.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
And I'll show these guys on the camera later on. But that's it's like a milky sort of.
It's not a clear liquid, right?
No, it's a milky sort of thing, and that goes.
But I suppose 2.5 mil in 10 litres. It's not a lot, but you'd imagine if you put in milk or something, it would produce a haze in that much liquid, wouldn't it? So from that point of view, it's not really changing the way the beer looks.
And we have had the control has they both have a 300 gram dry hop plus hops in the boil.
Yeah.
Then you're adding the terpenes into it. So should you have a sip of the control?
Yeah.
To
makes sense.
Calibrate our taste.
And the smell. It's a nice beer.
Yeah. So start with the aroma of this. So citrus, floral.
Yeah. Yeah.
A bit of pine.
Yeah, those kind of things. There's a slightly resiny,
grapefruit,
piney character. Yep.
Let's have a sniff of this one now.
I mean, it's different.
Yep.
There's a difference.
What do you notice?
I think it's not wildly. It's not as though suddenly we're smelling pineapple juice. It's not.
No.
It's not overwhelming. What do you think?
Yeah, but
have you tried them before?
Mm-hmm.
Today? Yeah.
Yep.
Do you think you can pick up a difference in aroma?
I do think so. I think there is a bit more tropical. Tropical things would be what I'd.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, that
point
sweetness could be. I mean, if it was pineapple, that has a sweet, sugary smell. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like I say. It's not as though it's gone from nothing to 100%. Like it's subtle. Again, presumably the dose would affect that. But of course, you don't want it to become overpowering and artificial.
Yeah, of course. So, I mean, you can always go with more. I've just added the recommended dose.
And it is a big beer. There's a lot of malt there, and I know it's not a malty beer as such, but there is, by the nature of the style, there's a lot of malt.
There is, yeah.
Precipitation.
Well, anything else you smell?
For you. There's nothing. I don't feel like there's anything that shouldn't be there.
I get
suddenly.
I get a green, leafy, sort of skunky thing.
Okay.
Which is not.
So like a when you say do you mean like a cannabis-y leafy green? More than like an apple green or
it is. Yeah.
Like vegetal green.
Yeah. And that's, I mean, you'd be disappointed if it wasn't there, I guess, because that's the, that's what it's meant to be.
Yeah. So that's what you're trying to.
That's what it's that's what it's building off.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's the terpenes they're trying to extract.
If it's there, it's pretty light. That's not something I'm picking up.
It's not. It's not overwhelming.
No.
It plays nicely with the hops. Yeah, it's balanced in there.
And again, in that type of beer, it's not out of place, right? I mean, that kind of dank kind of hoppy character is not. It's not out of place.
Yeah, no, it is. It is in that sort of ballpark. Well, let's try it. Let's see. I think you'll pick it up when you taste it.
Righto. Yeah, it does taste different. It does have a difference.
So when I taste that, I get that up front, and then on the back end, I do get this. I guess it would be like pineapple is how I describe it. Maybe going into a mango stone fruit. Yeah. Over and above what we tasted in the other
sort
beer.
Of ripe, quite ripe fruit.
Ripe tropical fruits.
Yeah. It's not. There's nothing unpleasant about it, and it certainly is adding a bit more. It certainly is adding a bit more depth, I suppose, to the hop character on the taste and aroma, which is where you want it. As you say, it's not going to affect the bitterness. It's not, and your bittering hops are kind of long gone, as we say, especially with everything else that's going on. But I think it definitely does add some complexity at the end here. So, do you think this is something you'll use more?
No.
Look, have a think about it.
maybe. No, I'm not saying it's not nice or it's not a good product, but it might not be the product for me.
Yeah.
I like it, and I do think it's got good kick and good punch. I think it's for those who want to take their beer in another direction.
Yeah.
Just because when we try that control beer, that's it's got a lot of punch to it already.
Yeah. I was actually just going to say that, and I didn't want to interrupt your thought there, but I wonder whether it's going to have. Well, it would probably have more impact in a less flavourful beer, right? So we're talking about, like you say, the beer we put it into is quite a flavoured beer. There's a lot of malt, like you said, alcohol, quite a high hop. I don't know how much is in there, probably a couple of 100 grams of hops at various stages, right? I wonder whether you'd get more impact, proportionately in a lighter beer, like a pale ale or a pilsner or something that you wanted hopped up. That's quite a modern trend, isn't it? But
yeah. I mean that's a good point. Yeah.
And then it might feel like it's worth it, is all I mean. Like adding 5% or 10% more hop character to a big hoppy beer might not be where you get the best value.
Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah, maybe we should try putting a little bit in something much smaller and see. We could.
I guess the advantage is, as you said, you can dose it.
Yep.
As a finished beer.
Yeah, well, let's
it doesn't
do
have
that.
to go in the cooking. It doesn't have to go in the fermenter or in the boil or anything. It can be added after.
Yeah.
After fermentation, so it'd be interesting to try that.
Well, let's give that a go. We'll put it in a couple of other beers that are on tap and see what happens.
Excellent.
This is a little amber ale. It's got a little bit of Black Forest rye in it.
Of course,
I know you like that.
Yeah.
So we'll try that. Go ahead, try that one, and I'll see it on its own, and then we'll try it with a little bit of this this Brewgas stuff in it. Yeah, Pineapple Express. Yum yum. It's a bit more of a blank canvas.
Yeah, I guess. And this is how old? A couple of months old? Or?
Yeah, it is actually.
Okay. Yeah, but still, I mean, it's a nice tasting.
So it's only a little bit of citrus sort of coming through, hop character, a bit of rye.
Yeah, you can. I mean, again,
it's light though.
You've said it's there,
it's
but
a
I
light
feel
touch.
like you can taste the rye.
Like 100 grams in the whole recipe.
Maybe I can't taste it. Maybe it's
I
just
can.
suggesting.
I can. No, I think
feel
it
like
is.
it's there.
I think it is. There's this sort of drying, bready quality that comes from it, and
But you're right. There's no big overwhelming hop aroma.
Yep.
It's there a bit in the flavour, but there's not a strong aroma. So it'd be interesting to see if it makes any difference.
Let's find out. We'll just dip this little straw in.
I can even smell it. Like you just
give it a bit of a stir. In you go. a bit weird doing this to beer. You know, you never want to do that to your beer, would you? Let's try that and see if that's enough for you.
Actually, now that you've taken that off, there's definitely a more of a cannabisy aroma. Right?
Yeah.
Really
yeah.
like strong. Yeah, that's one of your neighbours is
No, I don't think so.
yeah, it's quite strong.
You can smell that.
And that was nothing, right? It wasn't. It was just what was coating the straw.
Yeah, just dipped in the straw. So and it's not a gluggy mixture.
No,
nothing really sticks. To, it's
it
not a
runs
viscous.
Off. Yeah.
You know, like
it's
the
hop
hop
there's a big
products
drop
you get.
on the end.
No, nothing like that. It's
it's.
So you get more of the
absolutely
that leaf green leafy
because it's a lighter beer.
Yeah,
it really comes through.
And the
quite
hops
strongly.
and the hops are much more subdued in this. So I think.
Well, everything is, right? I mean, what is it? It's almost like you could argue it's a third of the beer. You said it's 3 point something % instead of 9.
That's true.
There's a lot less malt, a lot less of everything.
Yeah.
And it's much more prominent.
Yeah.
Whether it's if I were naming it, I don't know that pineapple would leap to mind. As I say, I think the biggest aroma and flavour is definitely that dank.
Yeah.
As you say, it's not skunky like Light Struck, but it's weedy. Yeah.
Well, it is. It's a cannabis, and the pineapple expresses the strain of cannabis. So it's not. Do you remember that movie? I made a movie ages ago. Pineapple, and that's this strain became. This strain became famous through that.
Yeah, right. As a strain of weed to smoke. Yeah, right. No.
But that's as much as I know about it.
Yeah, right. But presumably, the name is for some sort of association with fruity, chocolate fruits as well. It's not just
Yeah, and I did speak to a friend who knows a bit about these things, and he
friend
said
of a friend.
No, he's a friend. He's all right. But he's a bit more educated in these things, and he said I said about Pineapple Express. I'm going to put that in a beer, and he said, oh yeah, that would be the one to do it with.
Right.
Because he said that would be that's the one that you get the tropical aromas and the
okay. Yeah.
So he did mention that. So.
And it is there. I mean, if that's what you want in your beer, then it is providing that for sure. You can't. Yeah, it's quite strong. I mean, I would say the hop character. If before we put that in, it was a 2. Now it's an 8. I find it quite.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, to me that's quite strong.
So you're saying that fruitiness, those floral notes go up with that? Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Much more of a change than there was in the other beer.
Yeah, I think because that other one was already so packed with everything.
Absolutely, and I mean even now, smelling that one now, the strongest aroma is from the original hop that was in the control beer. Not from what we've added, but with this one, all you can smell is the extract. Interesting. Yeah, well, thanks for that.
No worries.
That was an eye opener. It'd be interesting. I mean, we're in a time when there's a lot more of these kind of products around. They're much more available to homebrewers as well. I mean, the package you've bought there is designed for homebrew scale, not commercial, and it's something you can play around with now. So
yeah. Thanks for joining me.
No worries, man.
Thank you. If you've enjoyed this video and are interested in home brewing, why not check out your local homebrew club? It's a great way to meet like-minded people and learn hints, tips, share recipes, and improve the overall quality of the beer you're producing. At Pine River's Underground Brewing Society, we meet on the 3rd Tuesday of every month. We hope to see you there, and if you don't live in the North Brisbane area, check out what local homebrew clubs are operating in your area.